Hello everybody, and this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you a Protoss build. Today we're going to be looking at a DT build that I did in a couple of my Platinum games. Jonas Brockfield sent me a comment and said, hey, I'd really like you to kind of walk through this build, so I figured I would go ahead and get that going for you guys. I made just a quick game with an AI, so we're just going to, basically the main focus of this is going to be to look at the build specifically and kind of some of the timings you need to benchmark yourself to. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. So this is basically your standard opening with a 13 gate. Nothing too terribly complicated about it. Going to be getting down the assimilator on 14. Now basically the point of this build is you're going to try and tech up to DTs as quickly as possible and then prevent your opponent from scouting your DT tech as much as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get down a 14 or a 16 assimilator, get our first three guys into the gas, and then continue building probes. Now, by getting the extra assimilator, you do delay your cybernetics core, but in general, I find it to be quite helpful. Also, in PvP, I probably would have been better off expanding, or not expanding, but scouting after my gateway as opposed to scouting after the cybernetics core. So, just one minor flaw in my build. So yeah, going to be getting up the Twilight Council once the cybernetics core finishes. But besides that, we will go ahead once we get the Twilight Council done and Warp Gate started, we will immediately get a sentry because we obviously want to block any scouting. So we're going to get that and get the sentry. Oh no, he's got a zealot. We're going to walk around his base. We're going to go back and we are going to build our... I think I did that out of order. I should have gotten the Twilight Council then the cybernetics core. Now we do need to build pylons so we don't get pylon blocked while building probes. Now once you get up to 16 probes on your mineral line, you are more or less safe to stop getting probes. You can pretty much stop your probe production and then start thinking about getting your gateways up. Actually, I'm going to build the Dark Shrine first. Now we're going to put it back to as far as possible in our base so we can prevent it from being scouted. And basically by getting the sentry, we avoid any potential, 4-gate pressure usually comes at around 530. So we're definitely going to want to avoid that from potentially happening. Now we are going to send out a probe scout over kind of in this region just to get a proxy pylon out on the field. Dark Shrine should be wrapping up here soon. Now you can build units, probably zealots primarily, because you want to conserve your gas for your Dark Templars once the Dark Shrine gets up. And we're looking at about 50 more seconds. We don't need really any more probes. We denied his scouting. Now, I should have been a little bit more cautious and gotten up a force field to prevent it from even walking up, but no big deal. So we're going to have a few units. Now, the one thing this build kind of does is if your opponent goes for a 4-gate, obviously you don't want to warp in all of your Dark Shrine, all of your DTs at your main. You want to warp in a couple of, at the proxy pylon, you want to warp a couple in back here and then a couple down here, and you want to walk in. Basically, you just want to go straight into his probe line and start taking it out. And then behind this, you can start thinking about taking an expansion and working that kind of angle. Now, as you can see, I'm playing versus an easy AI, so it's like kind of no big deal, whatever. But yeah, so you walk in, you can deal with the probes, you can start thinking about getting up your expansion. He really can't do anything. He's just sitting back, trying to do stuff and not doing anything. Now, normally, this strategy, like I said, is probably not. If it gets scouted, it can immediately just die. Because basically, the biggest problem with it is if it does get scouted, they're going to have up detection to deal with it, and you're not going to really be able to do anything. But in some instances, you might get a free, more or less a free win. So, anyways, I think that's all I've got to say about this build. If you've got any questions about this build and would like me to, kind of do a recap of it, or maybe even look at some other builds that I've done, I'm more than happy to do that. Feel free to leave a comment in this video, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I hope you guys do that, or I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, feel free to check out some of my other videos. I do a Bronze to Masters League series where I kind of just walk through my ladder games, what I was thinking at the time, and generally just some of the strategies that I use. It's not the highest quality of stuff, but what I try to do with it is I try to give players not a pro perspective, because we're all in it to have fun and rank up our ladder games, and the Bronze to Master series that a lot of pro players put out are really just they're them playing and they're already good. But in a lot of cases, you're still learning, you're still trying to figure out how to get your macro up, and all those small little mechanics things. So feel free to check that out. Also, I do stream my ladder games online at twitch.tv. Feel free to check me out in the link below, and also follow me on Twitter. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in hopefully the next Bronze to Masters League series game, or next to build tutorial. So I will see you all next time.